Well, howdy, pard. Thanks for joining me. Today, I'm going to go over what kind of balls, round ball, lead ball, you're going to need, what size ball, what caliber, what patch, what thickness of patch you're going to need for your muzzleload rifle, your black powder revolver, all your black powder mountain man kind of needs. Stick with me. We're going to get right after it, and we're going to talk balls. This past week, I had two different people reach out to me and have a question about what size round ball should they use for their 36 caliber muzzleloader or revolver. What a great question. Some of you might have that same question as well. So let's talk 36 caliber. We're talking 36 caliber round ball. So let's say you've got a 36 caliber revolver, something like the 1851 Navy, right? Well, you're not going to put a 36 caliber ball in that cylinder. Later, I'll go on to why you wouldn't want a 36 in a 36. You're going to want a 375, .375. Well, Dave, 375 is bigger than a 36. Yes, it certainly is. So when we load the 375 in a 36 caliber revolver, that ball is going to shave off just a little ring of lead as it goes into the cylinder. Something like this. This is an 1851 44, but it's the same as a 36 other than caliber-wise, right? So you're going to load your powder into the cylinder. Then you're going to set your ball on top of the powder in the cylinder. Then you're going to rotate the cylinder over. Using the loading lever, we're going to push that ball in. When we do that, you're going to shave a perfect little ring of lead off of that ball. What that tells you is that ball is seated in there tighter than tight. And that's what you want. That way you don't get chain fires or have other problems. One of the questions I had was from somebody who had inherited from their grandfather a 36 caliber muzzleloader and a 45 caliber muzzleloading rifle. Well, you're not going to load a 375 ball into a 36 caliber rifle. You probably could. That won't be a tight fit. What you're going to do in the muzzleloading rifle is load a 350. Of course, you're going to patch that, and I'm showing for demonstration purposes here a 010 patch, which is going to give you a 36 caliber fit. Now, we can go over the math on that, and I had somebody message me the other day saying, well, you've got a round ball in a muzzleloader, and you're putting a patch, an 010 patch around that ball in the muzzleloader. There are two sides to that patch and the ball, and so that's going to actually be microned out, so that's going to be a lot better. Nobody gets into muzzleloading to do middle school algebra. Let's keep it easy. Keep it simple. Make it enjoyable. Simple. So a 350 ball, an 010 patch makes a snug fit at 36 caliber. Now you could go with a fatter patch or a thicker patch, an 018 or an 020, which is just going to make that ball a little tighter in that barrel, and that's going to maybe give you a little better accuracy. So you may want to consider that. But this is your good rule of thumb. 36 caliber round ball, this is what you need. 350 and a patch of at least a 010 thickness for a 36 caliber rifle. And for revolver, 375 is the ball diameter you need for the revolver. For the 44 caliber revolver, right, we're talking revolver only. 44 caliber revolver. We're going to use a .451, a .455, or a .457 round ball, not .440. Well, Dave, you might ask, it's a 44 caliber pistol. Why don't I use a 44 caliber ball? You know, that was the advice I was given back in the 1970s, about 1978, when I bought my first cap and ball revolver. And you know what happened? I was shooting .440 round balls out of a 44 caliber revolver, just like the salesman told me to. And I had chain fire after chain fire, and I ultimately put that gun up on the shelf as an unsafe gun. You know, back in the 1970s, we didn't have the interweb, and I really didn't have a resource back then to find out what I should be using, so I just put that gun away. Fast forward, now I know I needed a tighter fitting ball. Same principle with the 36 caliber. If we use a .440 round ball, you're not going to shave off anything, and I didn't know that back in the day. I know it now. Now, For the 45 caliber muzzleloader, we're talking rifle or single shot pistol, 45 caliber, you're going to shoot a 440 round ball. Again, we're going to patch that with an 010 patch, which is going to give us our 45 caliber bore diameter. Now again, we're not going to go into the middle school math about diameters and patch thicknesses and both sides of the patches and whatnot. This is your basic, easy rule of thumb. And if you keep this in mind, you can't go wrong. Now there's all kind of patches and patching material out there. These are some old pre-lubed patches that I got from CVA years ago. I don't use them very often. They're pre-cut, as you can see, and they fit everything from a 45 to 50 to 54 caliber muzzleloader. And again, you'd use these with a round ball. You'd set that patch on top of the bore, put the ball on top of that, use your short starter to get the ball started, then use your ramrod or your range rod to finish driving it home. And these are thinner patches. These are 010s. These are unlubed. These are the ones I like to put in my mouth, get them all spitty, use a little spit lube, and then I can shoot multiple shots without having to clean the bore. So these are 010. They load really easy on either a 50 caliber or a 54 with round balls. And this is pillow ticking. A lot of guys like this. This is 100% cotton. All the patches that I shoot are 100% cotton, and it's what all the mountain men recommend. You pick this up in bulk at mountain man rendezvous around the country, or you can go to your big box trading post store and pick it up as well. Get a yard or two. It's not very expensive. I use my little cutting wheel to cut it into 1-inch strips, and then I could put that right on the bore, put the ball, get the ball started, cut it off with my patch knife, and I'm ready to go. I can lube that with spit lube as well, just like that. And these are a little thicker than the commercial patches I just showed you. It's a little thicker, and it's just a wee bit harder to load than the commercial patches, but it just depends what you prefer and what you shoot the most accurate. So patches and balls, we've got to match the right patches with the right balls to keep you shooting straight and true all the time. So I hope that helps. If you got questions or comments, please leave a question or comment below. Like and subscribe. And as always, keep your powder dry. And remember, black powder matters.